Welcome to Millenia. I am your host, the Millenia Mailmen, so I welcome you here into the realm of Millenia. Welcome, be ye man, woman, child, spirit, creature, demon, be ye a native, a migrator, or even an invader into these lands. Welcome to the realm of Millenia, for I will be world building for you long after you've begun to acclimate and fit in. So sit back, relax. It's mild-mannered Monday because there's no comment section to Q&A today. The argument from the devil's advocate this week has been women aren't better than men. Women are better with men or ignorantly dependent on them, and the same is true vice versa from our lovely devil's advocate here. So don't miscommunicate me on that. All the women's are some fine mamajamos in all the books, and my book even. To each their own, because anyone I don't find to be a fine feeling mamma jamma, there's a beekeeper somewhere for you. And for anyone who's not the taste of the trash collector over there, the beekeeper here, or what I would consider a fine mamma jamma, there's always the weird perverts and kinky lords over there who would probably take you for some reason or other and find you to be the finest of fine. If you don't fit into one of these categories, the beekeepers, the trash collecting, gold, diamond in the rough lookers, or what I would already consider a fine mamma jammer, there's definitely a pervert or kink master out there for you. Alright? Whether or not you find them to be what you're looking for or not, that's a different story. But I digress. Right? To each their own. But I'm a debater, right? I'm debating the devil's advocate any day, all day, every day. And at that, I'm a competitive debater, particularly, right? So I'm really particular about the words I use, and specifically a lot of certain phrasing, often in arguments especially. And unfortunately, that means I am heavily so particular about the things I say and the way I try to say them. Otherwise, I just look like a stutter-steppering buffering screen where I just get in a whole temperament of repeating myself or staying so stagnant. It's like, hello, are we still having this conversation? Give me a second. I gotta figure out what this word is. For lack of a better word, right? I say that often, and I find myself saying that in these videos often as well. For lack of a better word, because I slips the tongue, right? So, yeah. So when I say that this phrase, women aren't better than men, women are better with men or ignorantly dependent on them, the same is true vice versa, right? And a part of being a competitive debater who's as particular as I am, when I hear certain phrasings like women are better than men, all men this, all men that, all men are trash, it particularly grinds my gears to a certain degree. Not that I care, not that it pertains to me necessarily, or it really affects me personally. It's just when I hear that competitiveness and argumentative behavior attributed to my ability to debate any side, all sides, both sides, it really grinds the gears. He's like, the first thing coming to my mind is like, where's the evidence to support that fallacy you're playing? All women are better than every man that has ever existed. That's a fallacy, but I am very curious as to what evidence you have that supports it. Because when you make general statements like that, as if they're fact, it becomes automatically a fallacy. Because if what you're saying isn't true about all of the demographic you're referring to, it's automatically wrong, and it's misconception being perpetuated. So when you say it, if a single soul repeats after you, it's a perpetuated narrative of a fallacy, which just grinds the gears as to, I'm curious as to how you're going to argue that and what evidence or supporting evidence you're going to be using to help you with that argument, right? And it just like, it just pulls it out of me because like, what rabbit in the hat evidence are you pulling from thin air to support this ridiculous notion that one gender is intrinsically better than the other overall? Like boys to girls, men to women, together better than ever, right? And if not together, it's ridiculous because the differences of both men and women, boys and girls, complement one another, and their differences make them better specialized for certain things. So when we make these overreaching generalizations about the differences of the genders, it's really telling that we're forgetting the whole aspects of what makes us different, what deficiencies each of the genders have are being complemented by the other. It's really diminishing the value of the differences, which diminishes, unfortunately, your own value. Because if there isn't something else that can help amplify the best parts of you and you're just amplifying the worst parts of the other, it's what good is your side? If your side is all perfect and all awesome, there's nothing else great about it. It's like the whole syndrome from Mr. Incredible, The Incredibles, right? When everything and everyone is super, no one is, right? So all of the female gender is all perfect, all capable, all so incredible. Okay, then since all of you are so great and all the men are so terrible, nothing about you is overly great. It's just the expectation. Like you can make the debate of arguing, I'm gonna raise my standard, I'm never going to lower myself to be lesser than. Okay, if you and everyone else is such an elevated standard, that just makes none of you all that great. While you can try to hype each other up, in reality, you can give yourself a step up as much as you want. You just end up lower than you were ever before because you're bending down to give yourself a step up, right? So it just really drives home that fact of better together, better than ever, and better than if we're not together. Because you can only really step up with the other. Men are deficient and less specialized for certain things, and men are better specialized and less specialized in other aspects. You gotta respect it. You have to respect, but you can only respect once you acknowledge that there are differences worth respecting. If you're the type of person who doesn't respect any of the other side, understand why you'll never really develop into being more. You can't really raise a standard when there is nothing to compare it to, right? So this whole modernized movement of certain genders that aren't really bettering either of the sides as they are, because they're mainly centering on the singling out of their own side. So that's true for both the feminist movement and the red pill, black pill community movement. When either of these sides are getting so self-centered that it's only amplifying the most unattractive aspects of both sides to each other. Women have this whole argument of all men are trash. Men having the whole argument of the red pill and the further movement that way. Men going their own way, that all these girls are the same. None of them are loyal. None of them are trustworthy. We're just highlighting the most disgusting, unattractive aspects of yourself to the other side because you're so self-centered and non-conformative to any and everything, right? And when you do that, you amplify the least attractive aspects of your own gender, and you're putting it on full display for the other side. And thus you're losing the center of the purpose of the movements were started for. The movements were started for more interaction, better interaction, more cohesion, right, with the other gender, instead of opting for more maintained control over the other gender, with the distractors from that being like, hey, there are more genders than you think there are. There are no genders. They're gender benders. What does that have to do with more cohesion? Feminism started with the whole aspect of women are equal, they deserve equal treatment, deserve equal to men. Cool, that's respectable. The goal of that was so that men and women could actually be drawn together without pushing each other apart. Men and women could actually have better outcomes together when they come together and be better, right? And then there were the outliers of this where even though majority are coming together, we still want equal men and women who don't come together to still be acknowledged and respected. We want more people to come together, but those who don't, acknowledge, respect, right? So when we derail from that and we highlight our differences, these sides of both the argument that aren't coming together, we're losing center from the focus, which was more cohesion. This part that was cohesion is getting ignored, and we're now focusing on these outliers of sides that are choosing not to come together, and it's being villainized. The red pill community, the red pill, black pill, men going their own way movement versus liberalism and feminism on the other side. And it's just further polarizing each other to get further away from each other, further cementing that aspect, right? So we're moving away from the more interactions, to the increase of control over the other, right? And that's bad. That's not what the movements were started for. And with that, because that is something that's going on, this whole polarizing argument that's going nowhere, it's not bringing anyone closer, it's only bringing everyone further apart. When you do that with your debate and your arguments, it most unfortunately means that it's never going to finish. The best decision is to let it die, let it stop, and then restart the game. Like a good game of Monopoly. Okay, I see I'm losing. Shake hands. Good game. GG. Now run it back. Both sides are realizing this is never going to end because it's just unfortunate. But both sides have to actually agree in order to end the game. One of the sides right now may be saying, hey, it's whatever, let's just cut it out, let's end it. But until both sides actually agree that, okay, we're gonna let it die, move on, and we come back, we're still not gonna go anywhere. Both sides of the most polarized spectrum are still going to stay farther and farther and farther away. And that's unfortunate. And one of the worst tactics that gets used when people realize this isn't going to go anywhere, but I don't want to lose, I don't want to acknowledge and just let it be, is the distractors, right? The whole point of the movements was to draw us together, to have more interaction, more cohesion, and be better together, better than ever. Is that, okay, screw it. What about There are no genders. Nope, there's more genders. We can make a million genders. There's infinite genders. It doesn't matter. I don't have to be with you. I don't have to be with you guys. It doesn't matter. The genders. The genders this, the genders that. You know what? Gender bender. How about that? I can trade genders. The gender doesn't matter. The gender is a concept, right? Those are all distractors from the whole actual argument. Those can be valid arguments, but they're not valid to this argument. They're distractors from it, which is more so just a scapegoat to waste more time into hoping the other side submits, right? And it's most unfortunate because the longer people derail and digress from the actual initial purpose and the point of the debate, we will never progress to mutual understanding and comprehension of either side. You're ruining the whole argument. You're ruining the debate. There's no longer competition. It's just infighting without rhyme, reason, or genuine purpose being done anymore. The purpose of feminism and liberalism is for something. The purpose of the red pill and the black pill and the men going their own way movement and just entirely separating from the cohesion interaction, it's for a purpose, but neither side is necessarily willing to acknowledge what it is anymore because of the distractors that I won't say no one. They're both moving away because both sides are contributing distractors to the argument, to the discussion that polarize. Disingenuous arguments that polarize just because. And it's ruining it. It's ruining it as a whole. It's ruining the community. It's just all terrible all around. Right? So we have the two sides of the argument, and then we have the distractors from it. Right? So that's why women aren't better than men, and men aren't better than women. It's just an acknowledgement of differences. And anyone daring to distract from that fact either doesn't know that they are doing it, or it is done intentionally and spitefully of the fact that they need the other gender more than the other gender ever needs them, right? So a man saying, hey, all men are better than all women. I don't think you understand and recognize how much of your life depended on women, be it your lust, be it your depravity, be it your sense of love and affection, mother's love and affection, mother's milk, right? The genuine heart-to-heart connection that you feel and find of other people, that stems from women. As a man, that's, you can always gender bend. You can have that transformer argument that people are bringing up. Transgender is gender politics. You can always throw in that distractor, but that's different from the actual point. Stay on topic. Let's have the discussion. Stop distracting from it. If it doesn't apply to you, you shouldn't be bringing it up and ruining the conversation. The point was for cohesion, and the same thing vice versa for women as well. Women and men are better together, better than ever. Even lesbian communities, if you can just want to lay down that and say, I don't need men, all men are trash, okay. If you ever are in danger, who would you prefer and expect to actually be of assistance to you in your time of danger? Who are you expecting to help you supply that house you live in, get to the grocery store, deliver your food? Who is your immediate expectation of assistance in your day-to-day life? Who got you everything you have in life? Who safely secured you for you to live as long as you did in life? Everyone distracting from the fact that men or women neither gender is better than the other is incompetently addressing a disingenuous argument that no side is better than the other. Every side is different than the other, and we have to acknowledge and respect the differences so that we can move further in this argument, in this discussion about how we can be to get together better and better than ever. Otherwise, we're just in this perpetual motion machine of infighting. It's a cold war. It's a cold civil war that we're fighting against each other in semantic politics that is just going to ruin us as a whole instead of bringing us together like the initial intention was made for. The movements were made with intention and we're ruining it. We're distracting from it and it's ruining everyone. But, thanks for listening. What side are you on in this argument? This side, that side, outliers, in the middle, you already got connected, or are you one of the distractors from this argument? Men, women, better together, better than ever. Mind that if you're not on a side, and if you are a distractor, or you're just so far left or so far right, you don't care to listen, this argument isn't for you. You putting your 2 cents into this argument is a distractor, and it's ruining the whole discussion. Either which side are you on? Left, right? Are you in the center, already connected? Great. Are you one of the outliers? Cool. Put in your 2 cents. But if you're just intentionally choosing to be a distractor into the discussion of what we can do to come together and be better than ever, no one ever asked for your opinion on this discussion. There's another discussion for you another time. This isn't it. So, A, B, C your way out. All right? No one cares for your input on this conversation. We definitely want your input on the next one, right? So just be mindful when commenting. Like if you like what I had to say or agree with any part of it, comment in the comment section down below. Give your thoughts, opinions, questions, comments, concerns. Put it in the comment section down below. Share it if you want this discussion to be furthered. Today was just Mild Monday, so I just basically gave all the plot points here. And subscribe if you are in support of me finishing and publishing my book, because I will be posting every day. And on that note, if you never want to miss anything I post every day until I publish the book, go ahead and click the bell button and make sure you never get to miss out on any of the stuff I post every single day until that book, my official book, Millenia, in the Millennium series, is published. But hey, that's just me, your Millennium Mailmen, and that has been the intel and the news I had for you today. Peace. Hate life.